Hi everybody, I hope you've had a lovely lunch and you are ready for your Lunar lesson. Now for Lunar today, we are going to be having a little look at what makes a city a city. But before we do that, I thought we could have a little look over all of the things we already know about the UK. So, on my board here, I've got a blank map. There's also one on your screen on the PowerPoint. We're going to have a little go at seeing if we can name the 4 countries that make up the UK and see if we can put their names in the right place on the blank map. So let's start with this word. Okay, start with this one. I want you to Fred talk it with your grown up at home and see if you can tell me what it says. Okay, let's do this part first. We've got Scott, Scott, and this side we've got land, land, Scotland, Scotland. Well done. Okay, have a chat with your grown up. Where do you think it's going to go on our map? Well done. Remember, Scotland is north. It's north from where we are in the UK. So Scotland is this country right at the top of the UK. There we go. Okay, let's try this one now. Have a little read of the word with your grown up at home. Hope you can see it. It's a tricky one. It's got a split diagraph in it. Okay, we've got Wales. Look at that split diagraph there. Wales. Where is Wales on our map? You might want to point to it with your grown up if you can see the screen at home. Okay, Wales is this little part of the country here. Okay, it's just sticking on the left hand side of where we are, where our country is. Okay, there we go, let's stick Wales down. Okay, let's try this one. Have a little go at reading this one at home with your grown up. Okay, now if we Fred talk it, it looks like and land at the end, England. That's not how we say it, is it? That sneaky at the beginning is trying to trick us. This word is England. Where does the label England need to go on our map? England is the biggest country in the UK. So we're going to stick it right there. Okay? And last one. This country, we have our action for this. It's across the sea. Can you remember what it's called? It's called Northern Ireland, isn't it? Now, because it's too big for me to write down and fit onto my map, I've just put N for Northern. But this is Northern Ireland. Have a little chat with your grown up. Where is Northern Ireland on our map? Well done, it's across the sea. It's over here. Well done. Okay, so we've got our 4 countries. We've got England, we've got Scotland, we've got Wales, and we've got Northern Ireland. Now it's time to see if we can remember our capital cities. Okay, let's start with this one. Can you Fred talk it at home? Okay, we've got London. London. Remember, we have to put a really posh voice on and we say London, London. Okay, what is London the capital city of? What country is London the capital city of? Well done. London is the capital city of England. Now have a look at your blank map. Those dots that you can see on the map, those are where the capital cities are for those countries. So I'm going to put the label London by the black dot that is in England. I'm going to put it right there. I'm not going to cover it. I'm just going to put it underneath it so that I know where London is. Okay, can you thread this word for me? Ooh, there we go. Okay, we've got Cardiff. Cardiff. Okay, where is Cardiff the capital city of? We've got Scotland, Northern Ireland or Wales. Where do you think it is? Cardiff is in Wales, isn't it? Remember, we've said we can drive in our car to get to Wales. Cardiff. There we go. Pop Cardiff there, underneath the dot. That is in Wales. That's the capital city of Wales. Let's try this one. If I took this word for me. Oh, there we go. Belfast. Belfast. Where do we think Belfast is the capital city of? We've got Scotland and we've got Northern Ireland. Have a little chat at home. Okay, Belfast is the capital city of Northern Ireland. Can you remember what famous landmark we looked at in Belfast? We looked at the Titanic Museum, didn't we? Titanic Museum is in Belfast. Super job. Let's stick that down underneath the dot in Northern Ireland for the capital city of Northern Ireland. Last one then, the capital city of Scotland is... This one made us laugh last week, didn't it? Because this one looks like Edinburgh. And Edinburgh, is in Scotland. So let's stick that onto Scotland. Okay, have a little look at the size of my letters. I'm not sure if you can see it. Bring that a little bit closer. Have a little look at the different sizes of the labels. The capital cities are smaller than the names of the countries. And the size of words in geography, especially when we do it on a map, is really important. And that's because it tells you what's the city. The city is smaller. It's a small part of the country. The country is the bigger part. Okay? Okay guys, so now that you can see our map on the screen, you can see the difference in those sizing of the labels again. So you can see the bigger words like Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, England. They are our countries, so they are the biggest word. The country is the biggest part. You can see the other words as well, the names of the capital cities are written a little bit smaller, and that is because they are a small part within that country. Okay? Now, I want you to have a little think about where we live in the UK. Where do you think we live in the UK? You might want to point to it with your grown up. Okay. We live in the northwest of the UK. So this is north, up here, north, and this is west. And we live just about in the middle. So if you can see where that little jut out is, that's about where we live. Okay, have a little look. We're quite close to the border with Wales. Now, I want you to have a little think about what our closest city is. Now, a city is a little bit different to a town. It's slightly bigger, it's got a few more things in it. And you can usually get to a city either in your car or on a train. Okay, so have a little think. What do you think our nearest city is? Our nearest city is Liverpool. Looks like this. Okay, and Liverpool on our map, do you remember where I said that little jutting is? Well, that little jutting just here is part of the River Mersey. And the River Mersey is a key feature in Liverpool. It's a landmark that people like to go and visit when they come to Liverpool, when anybody who doesn't live here comes to see the city. Okay, so I'm going to put Liverpool just above that little jutting on the map there. Can you see? Liverpool. Okay, there is one other city that we are quite close to. See if you can work out what that other city is that we are quite close to. Okay, that other city is Manchester. Manchester. Now, Manchester is quite close to Liverpool on the map when we see it written down. It's just about here. It's a little bit further inland than Liverpool. Okay, I'm not going to put Manchester on my map today because we're going to focus on Liverpool. Okay. Okay, so take a little look at how Liverpool and Manchester, our cities, are written on our map. What do you notice about them? They're a lot smaller than the other cities, aren't they? And that's because they're not capital cities. They're just a standard city. Okay, so that's why they have a different size, and they're not in bold either. They're not written in bold. Have a little chat now with your grown-up about what do you think a city is. Okay guys, so have a little look at where Liverpool and Manchester have been written on our map now. They are even smaller than the other cities that we have written on our map. And that's because they're not capital cities. They aren't where the government is. The government is in London in England. So Liverpool and Manchester are written slightly smaller. They are smaller cities. Okay, now a city, you've been having a little chat with your grown-up, a city is a very busy place in a country. Very busy place. And that's because it's where lots of people go to work. There's lots of built up skyscraper buildings, so that's where their offices are. There might be lots of busy roads, lots of shops. And it's very different to the countryside. The countryside is where you've got lots of nice fields and farmland and lots of greenery, and there isn't much of that in a city. Now we're going to have a little look at what we might find in a city in the UK, and we're going to focus on Liverpool. So on this side you can see lots of different pictures, and these things are all features of a city. They are all things that you would find if you went to a city. Now you might want to pause this screen and have a go at labelling some of these pictures with your grown-up at home. Hey everybody, now that you've had a little go at labelling, can you see the labels on this screen? These labels are telling you what the pictures are showing. See which ones you've mentioned at home. Now it's time for us to explore Liverpool, and to do this we're going to go on a little virtual tour. We're going to watch a video which takes us on this tour, and when you spot a feature of the city, just like the pictures that we've looked at on the previous slide, if you see any of them, I want you to tell your grown-up, okay, so you can tell them what it is. The video link is below, and there is also the title of the video next to it in case you'd like to type that into YouTube instead. Okay everybody, so this is your activity for today. You're going to have a little look at the 10 pictures on your sheet and decide if you would find them in a UK city or not. So in your notebook, you might want to thread talk and write a list of names of things you would find in the city using those pictures, and a list of things that you wouldn't find in the city using those pictures. Okay, there's 5 things that you would find in a city and 5 things that you won't find in a city in the UK. Okay. If you finish this task, there is a little challenge at the bottom which is asking you to tell your grown-up which things are human geography, so those are things that are made by a person, and which things are physical geography, so things that are made naturally in the world. Give you a little clue. Human geography is things like an airport, okay, that is built by a person, but physical geography might be things like a park, or a forest, a rainforest. Okay, have a little go at this activity at home, and don't forget to submit your work to me on the chat box. Bye everyone.